Hey guys,
I was still muted.
I was like, what's going on? I'm confused here.
Happy Tuesday night, everybody. Welcome to Arcades Anonymous, Arcade Nerds United. And as you can see, we have a full staff today. Everybody's in. We got our normals. Chaotic, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Mama Good Man?
Matt. What's up?
Evening, everybody.
Joel. And our special guest, Dan, the Outrun Neon Sun. How are you, my friend?
Clean like a mother. You
perfected it. You have perfected it.
Man. I got to shout him out. Bobby Boo in the house. Good to see you on here, guys.
Thank you, Bobby, for coming into the show. Glad to have you
demonetized now for copyrights.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
I think we're already, monetized because of the thumbnail. So fantastic work on that, Cole.
That's so
guys,
awesome.
how are y'all doing this evening?
Blessed, man. Blessed. I'm so sick and tired of moving, but great. What about you guys?
I'm still in that, right?
Never
ending.
Like, I'd rather go through diseases than go through another move, man. I'm serious. This
so I have to ask a question, okay? Because you and I have been moving. All right.
Okay.
Have you found something that you knew you had, but you're like, where did this come from? Or how long have I had this? Or
yeah. Okay.
What was it?
Kid. His third kid.
Yeah, but
or like a BlackBerry phone or something.
Yeah, no. Dude, we found a Nokia. I did find a brick Nokia. It was pretty glorious. So I found in my son's, above my son's closet, I had stowed away just a couple trinket type things, and I found a 1984 Olympic pin set. So from, the pins, and they're all jumbled together. I don't know if you guys ever knew, but that was a big deal in the 80s, 84, 88 Olympics, during the Summer Olympic Games in LA. we
Yeah.
got to see the Olympics, right? I was like 6 or 7 years old,
Yeah.
and we were able to see them. And they have a huge pin set, and they aren't valuable at all, but they were just kind of cool. So that was I was like, oh yeah, I have these. So that's about it. Nothing else exciting. I wish I found like a Sega Genesis or something like that was like gold, but no, didn't work
Yeah,
out that way.
yeah. Well, I'm wearing the one thing that I found. I found a Hooters hat in all
Oh,
things in my game room. And the other thing that I found, I was playing before we went live. I found my
Oh, sweet.
What?
It's not an
That's
old
awesome.
system by any means, but when you're packing up all your consoles,
That's
and
awesome.
You
That
packed
is
up
so
all your
cool.
games. It's like I got to keep this out and play with it until I officially move. So
Dude, that's like the Sega Nomad.
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, I want a Sega Nomad so bad, it's not even funny. And Steve Haywood, from the Tech Buzz, he has one. He just rubs it in every chance he can that he has one. So I want one of those so bad.
Zoom.
Yeah, Joel, we need
That's cool.
hey, Joel, we need to get all these guys Ambernicks.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait,
That's
well,
the way to go. You
look
don't
what's
need a
fun.
Nomad or anything after that.
Stock Jock just laid it down on us, just so you guys know. This is one room full of nerds now that Dan is here. Thanks, appreciate that.
Oh, we were a
True.
full room of nerds before Dan came in, so we're
Yeah.
we're good.
True.
What was it? Our quiver is full now. We're good.
Oh, no.
Our quiver is full.
I don't know the context for
Good-
that
good
verse,
one.
but that's okay.
It
Okay,
looks like
Dad.
Retro
Okay.
Lizard does
Okay,
have
Dad.
a Nomad, Dan, so I think he's
Sweet.
going to rub that in a
Nice.
little bit.
Oh,
on
You
the
gotta
man.
too.
shut it up, Joel.
Oh man, I want one so bad. Like that's the number one console gaming platform thing that I want. I want that so bad. Anyways,
Yeah, I packed up on my consoles today. I was telling Chaotic before the show started, I had 40-something boxes of stuff from just the game room. And I had all my consoles. And when you have consoles, you try to wrap everything together and all this and that. And probably like putting up the Dreamcast and I have a Sega Saturn, and I'm like, I didn't even think about the Sega Saturn having a cartridge for your Genesis. I'm like, really? Ugh. All the times I could have played a lot of Genesis on the Saturn.
oh yeah, it was cross. You could do cross platform.
Yep.
Not platform.
I
But yeah.
totally forgot about it. It was connected to the CRT that I have, and never even thought about it.
Wow.
So missed opportunity for sure.
Yeah, it's okay. All
I
right.
don't. I feel for you guys. I don't ever want to move again. I did it once, and that was, I don't know, almost getting close to 10 years ago. And
Yes, sir.
I've accumulated so much more stuff since then
Mhm.
that I can't even imagine what it would be like to move.
Yes,
No.
sir.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it.
Yeah, I hope I never have to do it again, but I probably will. So, always how
Yeah,
it goes, right?
Yeah, renting.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's glad to have y'all on the show. I appreciate y'all letting me host again as we continue to move forward. Today's
for having
topic is let's talk about cartoons that shaped us. And I think that a lot of us growing up in the 80s and 90s always just had some kind of cartoon that always just stuck with us. And I know I put a few, Joel put a few on the thumbnail that were crucial, but I'd love to hear.
Oh, don't
what,
blame it all on me. I copied some of the years that you had.
Got
Oh,
copies
wow.
online. Okay.
Where does the buck stop right there? I'm not sure.
I already seen
to
guys
own
going off in the
responsibility,
comments before the
guys. Come
show
on, you
started.
know?
So I'm going to go around the horn. I just want to hear what your favorite cartoon is and what it means to you. So I'm going to start out with Chaotic.
Can't say one, can we?
Come on, narrow it down, Brian. You got
Narrow
this.
it down. You
All
list
right.
top 2 or top 3. Come on.
Top 3. That would have to be DuckTales,
Okay.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is a weird one, very niche, David the Gnome,
Wow.
David the Gnome. I don't remember that one. Do you?
1985.
Okay. I'll have to.
It,
Well,
it
you were
came
born
on,
in 84 like me, so
right. It
you were
came
watching
on
reruns, right?
right. It came on PBS a lot.
Okay.
David.
He dealt with trolls. He talked to animals. He was a veterinarian.
No. Okay.
David the Gnome was a veterinarian.
Yeah.
Awesome premise. Love it. Just
Yeah, love to have notes.
80s.
That,
It was
you know,
the
have multiple
mid-80s.
careers. Yeah,
Yep.
awesome. David the Gnome. Okay.
David the Gnome.
All right.
Interesting.
Joel, what's your top three, buddy?
My top three, so it would be number one would be Turtles, Ninja Turtles. Two would be Inspector Gadget.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Good
That's
one.
a good one. Yeah.
And I don't know, number three maybe might be Sonic the Hedgehog. Just I didn't watch it a lot, but I remember in middle school discovering that it came on at like 5 a.m.
Oh, jeez.
So I started setting my alarm to get up and just
Whoa.
to watch that and then go back to
Wow.
bed. Because where I lived out in the country, so we didn't have cable. It was like so Saturday morning cartoons was like my
Yes,
jam.
sir.
You know,
Mhm.
that was the only time you got to watch cartoons was on Saturday morning.
Really?
So when I discovered early in the morning that there was some cartoons going on, I was all over that.
Dang. Okay. Wow.
Well, I mean, that's a solid list for sure. But the question that I have to ask: did the cartoon come before the game, or was it the game before the cartoon?
For Sonic,
For
Yeah.
Sonic.
I would imagine the game came before the cartoon for sure.
Mhm.
They discovered
You all right, Dan?
Oh, MG. Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Nickel.
Thanks, MG. We love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So you
No,
think the game
no,
came
I'm-
before the
from
cartoon?
everything I've seen and heard from all my I like watching like documentaries and stuff like that on like especially video game history and stuff. And Sonic was Sega's creation and tried to catch up and answer to Mario. They wanted to have some sort of a mascot, so they
Yeah.
created the game, and then everything else I think followed after.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, man.
Oh, chaotic. I don't think MG likes your David.
What gave you that idea? What gives you
Turtles
that?
is easily number one for me. It's stuck with me my entire life, and it's probably 80% of my game room. And
Yeah.
in fact, I pulled these out to share with everybody because I have an all things turtle
Ooh.
comic book subscription, and so right now they're going through Saturday Morning Adventures. Is kind of a short run that they've been doing of kind of a throwback of all the
Yes,
old
sir.
all the old guys and
Heck yeah.
just new stories and stuff like that. Bunch of
So
the
those
old-
just came out, Joel.
yeah. So they've been doing this the last couple months. I
That's awesome.
think it's kind of a limited, maybe 4 or 5 issue run. Hopefully
Might have to go to the comic book store.
hopefully they keep doing it. But yeah, it's definitely pretty cool.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
That is awesome, dude. I love it. Do you have the hardcovers of like the originals? Didn't they like put them in like special edition, deluxe editions?
There's bound ones, yep. So
Yeah.
you can get collected hardcover. I have back behind me. I got every Turtles hardbound, everything I think, and a bunch
That's
of the loose stuff, the single newsstand issues and things like that. So
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Matt.
yeah, I've been. It seems like they can never launch anything on time when it comes to Kevin Eastman and the Turtles and stuff. But it's been delayed a little bit. But they're supposed to have Street Fighter versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles short run. A 5-issue.
Glorious.
run.
That's pretty
So
awesome, actually. Yeah.
I've been anxiously awaiting that to arrive in the mail.
So
They
you
should
have
do
that
it.
ship coming to you direct, huh?
Yep. I got a
He's got
comic book
a
shop.
pull box online, right? Don't you
Yeah,
have one of those?
there's a comic book shop down in G Mart down in Chicago. So
Phil, quiet, Phil.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I love gummy bears.
yeah, I do too.
Hey, you didn't
I
even
was a
say
fan,
that. That's
But you said
Oh, I
top
can only
three.
choose 3. I can only choose 3. I nailed it.
I know.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is. You're right. And you had to be first, so I give you grace. I totally do.
So Matt, what are your top 3, buddy?
All right, so we got Transformers,
Yeah.
from '84 on, right? Batman the animated series,
Okay.
and then X-Men.
X-Men.
Wow.
Okay.
Pretty
That's
solid.
a solid lineup. Definitely. But I'm surprised because you said in Discord that you were going to sing the Gummy Bears.
No, see, that's the whole motion. Like,
Gummy
Like-
bears.
Bouncing
Bouncing
everywhere.
I imagine that's beyond.
Whoa, we just lost all of our viewers, guys.
Yeah,
It's all
it
good.
just went down.
Gummy
Gummy
bears.
bears.
I won't sing the whole thing. Steph, I mean, I won't. Steph's. I just can't sing the whole thing. But yeah.
yeah, it sounds funky, like Gummy Bears or what Darkwing Duck. Like when I was a kid, if the theme song was set to music, I would memorize it.
Totally.
Yeah, no doubt.
I
Just-
so wanted to drink whatever that purple
Oh yeah,
No.
Gummy Berry juice,
gummy
right?
bear
Gummy bear
stuff. Yeah.
Dashing and daring, courageous and caring, faithful and friendly, with stories to share. Yeah. Out through the forest, they sing out in chorus. I mean, marching along. Their
Oh, man.
song fills the air. Anyways, Gummy
Oh, I
bear.
love it, dude.
That's good stuff, Matt. That's good
Dan,
stuff. Yeah.
what are your top three, buddy?
All right, so I was going to say Gummy Bears. There was a special, for some reason, I love Gummy Bears the second season. I don't know if you guys knew. I have all the collection on DVD, right? And my son, my youngest 11-year-old, actually watched through them all, and he was like, I actually like this, Dad. Like, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And then he watched through all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I would say if I had to do top three that were like influential to me, I would say Gummy Bears because I love the fantasy. Like I love Thundercats. I loved, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love Transformers. But I would say the top three for me would be Gummy Bears, G.I. Joe, and Mask. You guys remember Mask?
Yeah,
oh,
Mask
Mask
is
was
awesome.
fun.
So I would say those are the top three for me that just kind of like, because I had all the G.I. Joes. I still collect them now, the classified G.I. Joe classifieds. And the Gummy Bears, I don't really collect anything for that because they were a little cheesy. They didn't do a very good job with creating toys for that. And then Mask, I wish I still had the Mask. That stuff's bank now. So
Yeah, no doubt.
I love that stuff, man. That was my jam. I love that. Rainwater says, I feel like Dan was a Rainbow Bright kind of kid. But he was
We could sing that song too, right?
Oh, Lord.
I don't know that song. Thanks, Rainwater.
Phil's in the house. You said Thundercats, He-Man, and Super Friends. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
MG says, I love Jill and the Misfits, but I'm not ashamed to say it.
Exactly.
Good man. Good man.
It wasn't a cartoon, but I love Fraggle Rock too.
Yeah,
Fraggle
Fraggle
Rock
Rock
was
was fun.
my wife loved that one, actually. That's one of her favorite ones, too. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, the issue
Yeah.
with Fraggle Rock is it was on HBO when it first premiered, and so like you had to be, a given status to watch
Yeah, had to
Fraggle
have
Rock when it first premiered.
cable and yeah.
That was
Yeah.
not
Really
me.
married up. She
I
was a
remember
snob.
that.
I wasn't even able to watch G.I. Joe because I think that was a network thing or something that was on
Mhm.
cable or something. So it was.
I don't think we had cable growing up. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Oh,
I
we
think I had
didn't get
cable.
it. We got one of those big giant metal satellites that was
Yes.
20 feet
Wow.
wide, that back when I was like in middle school or something. So
Did
that
you
was my
really?
first exposure to like Nickelodeon and Disney
Wow.
and stuff. So
I love how Mike Worley says no love for Ren and Stimpy. That's like a
Yeah.
90s thing. Like he's
Happy
too much
Happy
younger than all of us, too. Actually, no. I think you guys are younger than him, huh?
Yeah, me and Chaotic, I think, are the youngest, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, 84, man.
I'm 84 with you guys.
Yeah.
I
Matt,
might be the very youngest. I'm December of 84. So
Yeah, I'm May.
All
October.
right, Todd, you got to go, buddy.
I got to get what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, you're three, man.
You can't throw us
My
under a
three.
bus and you not go.
So, top three is definitely Thundercats.
Oh, good one.
Loved the Thundercats. Loved everything about the Thundercats. And then obviously Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You can't go wrong watching all those guys. It just every time you were sick, you could watch 10 or 15 episodes all day long while everybody else was, at school. You could sit there and watch the whole thing. So it was fun. And then for me, I have to say probably the third it was SWAT Cats. And I know some people in the chat, it was just cool to have two cats that could a jet. It didn't
Yeah.
make sense, but it worked.
Right,
And
it
it was
worked. It was
fun and
good.
it was gritty and I enjoyed it. And
Yeah,
it's-
it was
SWAT
great.
Cats?
yeah, SWAT
SWAT
Cats.
Was that an 80s thing or is that a 90s thing?
90s.
I want to say
Okay.
it was early 90s, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Chaotic.
Yes.
I think we were in our 8-9 year old range. but it was cool because they were two cats that could get into a jet and like fly around the city, and it's like, why did that matter?
Yeah, but were they veterinarians? I mean, that's
No, they weren't veterinarians. No, they
One
were
was a dentist.
They could work on the jets. That was they fixed their own jet. They were the mechanics and the pilots. It was weird.
That's cool. That's cool. That's awesome. Thundercats was great, and it's kind of it tried to make a comeback almost. And I think wasn't there like an actress? There was an actress who did those horror kind of like zombie movies. I forget. She was a model at one point. She was in The Fifth Element. What's her name? The main character, the girl in The Fifth Element. You know what I'm talking about? And then she did like
Ace, but
she did another series of movies that everybody loves. You guys know you'll know what I'm talking about if someone in the chat kind of mentions it. But she was actually going to play one of the characters. She was trying to produce a Thundercats live action movie. And she wanted to play, I think,
Chitara?
Cheetah. I think
Chitara, yeah.
Chitara, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
That didn't work. Didn't work out. They were trying to make it come. Yeah, Mia Jovovich. There we go. Thank you, Thor. Thank you, Mia Jovovich.
Laura's over it.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, Thundercats was great. Wish it had been successful. Kind of like the He-Man reboot. Kind of wish it had done better than it did.
On Netflix.
Yeah, G.I. Joe got a reboot like 5 times. G.I. Joe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of G.I. Joe, did you guys see the latest Transformers? Is everybody in the panel seen it yet?
Not yet, but if you want to tell us, like, without spoiling it.
Nah, I can't.
2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down.
You know, I've enjoyed every Transformer thus far. I haven't seen Bumblebee, but I've enjoyed every Transformer. So like I said, we're all nerds here, and I just have fun with the movies. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. In fact, my youngest was saying he liked it better than the first one. So I thought it was great. And it's funny because the culture of Marvel, you know, over the years has created us to kind of take impossible things with a little bit more seriousness, as far as like, yeah, that's possible, you know, like we've been desensitized to the abnormal. And so when we see Transformers interacting with people, they tried to make it a little bit more emotional and less comedic, and they did a really good job with it. It was still really funny, but it wasn't as comedic as the previous iterations of it. So I had a good time. Yeah, I love it.
Were you still alone in the theater, or what? Did people finally come in towards the end?
It's so funny. It's like the nicest theater, and someone was like, "That's like the most ghetto." Like all of the seating in the back was all like destroyed. I'm like, why are our seats so horrible? Because it's in like one of the most affluent areas in like Southern California. It's really funny. So there was only 5 of us in the theater.
Yeah.
There's the 3 people directly behind us, which was a bit awkward at times.
Yeah.
And then my son Christian and I, we finished that whole bucket of popcorn and had a whole thing of Mountain Dew, and we were good to go.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I still got to catch out the Spider-Verse.
I haven't seen that yet.
Matt, what's your call on that? 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, it was pleasant. So yeah, I thought it was. I mean, like as Joel hinted the last time we talked, like it's long, but it abruptly ends. You're like, what? And then
yeah, it's like setting it up for the next one.
It was so tastefully done. So yeah.
Cool.
Wow. Settle down with your comments about that movie, Matt. You need to just kind of settle down. All right.
Yeah, well, the original is like in my
Matt
top
gets
10
way
of all
too
time.
excited.
Yeah, you're getting a little too heated right now, Matt, about this movie. Okay. Just kidding, brother. Oh, that's awesome. Oh.
So let's change gears and say, hey, how did those cartoons influence you? How did those cartoons shape how you looked at certain things?
We're talking about Rainbow Bright right now. Are we talking about Care Bears? What are we talking about? The ones we mentioned?
Yeah, well, the ones you mentioned, the ones that kind of tug at your heart, and I think I'll do reverse here. Dan, what? I'll throw you under the bus here.
Okay, so what do these things do to me? Okay, so I would say the Gummy Bears was one of the more. I mean, I played with the toys from Mask constantly, and G.I. Joe. I won't say G.I. Joe or Mask were influential on me. I would say the Gummy Bears, though, as far as my, I don't want to say approach, but it was influential in wanting to have an adventure. You know, it was kind of like a Goonies-esque vibe to it when you had the younger Gummy Bears going on adventures, and it actually made me love fantasy literature, So I'm a huge Tolkien fan, like just bizarre. I have every piece. Oh, well, almost every piece of work that he's ever written. I have maybe 40 volumes of his stuff. Like I love Tolkien. I love most fantasy writers.
Yeah.
And I wanted to write a fantasy, and I did for my kids. It's like it's only about 300 or 400 pages, but it's a book that I wanted, and so
Is
it's
that available on Amazon Prime?
no. It's only for them. But like what I did was I had other books that I've written and published, but what I did for this one was like it was such a huge like fantasy for them, but I wanted them to know what it meant to be a man, like a biblical man, and what it meant to be for my daughter to read it, to what it meant to be a biblical woman. So it was kind of like their father had passed away, but it was this all set in the fantasy realm. And that was I've always been drawn to that a little bit more. Like maybe if I had read Dune, right? Because the book Dune is incredible as well. Like there's some amazing sci-fi out there that's actually really well done, but in really good writing. Deep kind of thinkers, but for me, fantasy just hits it. And I think that's what Gummy Bears kind of instilled in me, is that desire for kind of what could have been, if that makes sense. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Not to get all deep and serious, but yeah, that Gummy Bears was pretty big for me. Yeah.
Cool. Matt?
Well, let's see. Mine are all tied to a given season of life where life like wasn't punching me in the face based on my mom's decision. So it'll be heavy too, right?
Yeah.
And so like it goes back to the Transformers or Batman the Anime. Like there's times in my life where we lived out of a car, and so that means that requires a TV to watch cartoons. And so like it goes back to like the Transformers or like Thundercats, or it means that we had a place to call home and actually watch TV on a religious basis. So yeah, that's where and most of it ties to me to having a stable environment for a while. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing how important those things are to us as children. Some sort of constancy, some sort of like,
Consistency.
That's consistency is so important for us as children. But this got serious real quick. But
sorry.
No, don't apologize. I mean, that's life, right? But,
It is.
Yeah, that's good. It's good stuff. I mean, it's horrible, but it's amazing what God does. That's all I'll say.
Absolutely. Joel, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, mine ties back to a bad time in my life when I didn't have cable.
You had a 20-foot satellite. You didn't have the cable. Okay.
How do I follow up from Dan and Matt, man? We
We
got
should go
serious
back.
so quick there.
Yeah.
My bad. You just elongated it, Matt. You made it.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, it's all good.
No, I think
became
mine are
people.
probably happy moments of my life when just thinking back, that have I Inspector Gadget was one big one that I remember watching all the time before I'd go to like preschool and stuff like that, and kindergarten. And I remember my mom driving me to school, and we had this like Oldsmobile, and we'd be driving along, and I'd be sitting in the front seat, and her and I would be playing along like that. That was the Go Gadget Mobile, and I'd be working the AC controls to make it do smoke bombs to the car behind us, or we'd transform, just playing and using our imagination and stuff as we were going on our way to my mom dropping me off at school. And then the Turtles, that was my dad was always like recording those for us or for me on VHS. So I always had those to watch, and I just loved the Turtles growing up, and I don't know what it was about it, but they just kind of my entire life that's been one of my kind of favorite things. Someday I hope to live in the sewer in a lair.
As long as you got the hair, as long as you got the facial hair like Splinter, you gotta.
It's been fun, sharing that stuff with my kids, especially, the one at least right now, JoJo, the 4-year-old, just the last 4 years, getting, I have the CD full DVD box set of the original Ninja Turtles. And so him and I have been watching those, and then watching the new ones and stuff, and, getting into that. And just, it's kind of fun for people to see, this little kid that's like knows so much about turtles, even though they're not the in thing right now. And they're just kind of shocked, and I don't think they make cartoons like they used to, and
No.
the generation that's coming up, is, doesn't know what they're missing out on to the fact that, they can just YouTube and Google watch, anything any cartoon, and they can watch cartoons all day long and whatever they want. And,
Yeah.
So,
I remember, like you brought up the VHS, I remember having to say, hey, Mom, make sure you put a new tape in, and so I can catch that, or, it was something that I wasn't going to be able to see. I just remember that recording of it and then watching it back. And, if you ever find your VHS tapes and you just want to play them just to see what's on them, it's just kind of just brings you back, I guess.
Yeah.
You should highlight what Rainwater Games just said, just to encourage Joel a little bit.
Go live your dream, Joel.
Go live
your dream.
Go live your dream.
Don't let anything hold you back, Joel.
I don't know. Maybe it's different in other parts of the world, or in the country. But here in Michigan, I've slowly come to the realization that sewers just aren't as big as what the Turtles made them out to be. Like,
I feel robbed.
I'm a pretty big guy. I could probably barely fit in any of the sewers around here.
Yeah, but no one knew that in the 80s, and everybody wanted to go in there.
To go in there, yeah.
Right.
I totally did. I'm so there. Oh, what's up, Matt?
No, it's like Ghostbusters, a movie. The same thing where like they go to fight ghosts in the sewers, and like they were walking down with like their packs on. Like, we didn't know the difference.
Yeah. And I'm surprised nobody said the real Ghostbusters. I know everybody watched it, but
yeah, absolutely.
I was surprised on the panel that nobody really talked about the real Ghostbusters, but probably still in the top 10, but not in the top 3.
Yeah,
right.
Real Ghostbusters was good. I think for me, and this is going to sound horrible, I feel it's a little overrated. It's good, it's fun, it's goofy, but there was no continuity as far as to the plot over the years, if that makes sense, over the couple seasons that they had. I mean, it was fun, but if you look at like the Ninja Turtles, right, there was an overlying theme to it, right, of kind of vanquishing Krang or Shredder, right, and them trying to destroy the world every single time, but later on they kind of got more continuity, right. And I think that's the better cartoons that hold up are the ones that did that weren't just one-offs every single time.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, but whatever.
What's shocking to me is to go back and to see some of these that have the full series, that's on Netflix or and different things, and to see that there was only like 2 seasons of something, or whatever. It's like, that was on forever.
That was 10 years of DuckTales. Are you serious? Come on.
All the reruns that we watched that didn't stick in our brains that whole time, right?
Wow.
Wait, Brian, you said DuckTales, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, can you sing the DuckTales song at all? I mean, race cars, lasers, airplanes.
Yeah. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg.
You're off key.
Cars.
You're off key.
Oh, I ain't trying to be a key, man.
So chaotic. God, I can't even talk today. What's your basic one out of that group? What is your, God, I can't even think.
Most influential?
Yeah, most influential. Thank you, Dan.
I got you, Todd. I got you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Good thing he's here tonight.
Yeah, I know. We would be off the rails.
Whatever.
Like every single cartoon I watched had some kind of influence on me or taught me some kind of life lesson. So David the Gnome taught me to love animals. I wanted to learn more about animals. Ninja Turtles taught me about brotherhood and being there for each other. DuckTales taught me
swimming in money.
Yeah, I mean, it mostly was like an adventure, right? Just no matter what you do, no matter what you can do out there, you can make everything into an adventure. A couple other things was like Tailspin. Tailspin taught me always find some kind of fun when you're in a bad situation. And then another one would be Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers. Exactly. Yeah. And that was always trying to find a good positive thing in a bad situation.
I just have to say, I hate Tailspin, and here's why, Brian. because when Tailspin came on, that made the Gummy Bears leave. Okay, so
Yeah.
Tailspin killed Gummy Bears. If you remember, no, I'm kidding. I love Tailspin,
This is-
but like every time a new one came on, the older ones would be pushed
Mhm.
off, and I'd be
Yep.
like, no. And the moment DuckTales was off, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done
Yep.
forever. Like this is
No.
it. You know?
Yes, soon as Aladdin got their own TV series, or the Little Mermaid got its own TV series, that killed all the good ones. You're like, man, I ain't watching this.
Yeah.
crap no more.
Done.
I'm going to Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Did DuckTales? I mean, did Darkwing Duck kill DuckTales? Like, where does like? I was trying to figure out my like
It was
fourth
the
and fifth grade.
Mighty Ducks.
No, like remember it was Darkwing Duck. As
They,
a-
Mighty Ducks killed all of them.
You think?
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
I think they
I
ended
mean,
up
as
going
far
to
as the
ABC.
progression, like the progression, Matt. Like I know
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace. You know he was on before Gummy Bears. I don't know if you guys remember that Dennis the Menace, the
Mhm.
cartoon, and then Gummy Bears, and then if I remember correctly, it was DuckTales,
Mhm.
and then
After
what
that, it
was
was Tailspin,
Tailspin. No, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, and then
Chippendale,
Tailspin.
then Tailspin.
Yeah. And then Teletubbies, I think, was after that. Right? That was- someone just mentioned Teletubbies in the chat.
yeah,
Knocked out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Andy
think
says the
microwaves.
microwaves killed the gummy bears.
Yeah.
Gargoyles was epic. Okay.
Yeah, it
Oh
was.
yeah, Gargoyles.
Gargoyles was
oh
a-
man.
And
Yeah.
it was deep. It
That was
felt
dark.
deeper than some of the other stuff that was out there at the time.
That was with Batman, right? The animated series.
Yeah.
I actually, Matt, when you said Batman, I used to actually put in blank VHS tapes because for my 11th birthday, it tells you a little how spoiled I was. I got a 17-inch monitor TV with the VHS or
Mhm.
VCR player attached to it, right? In fact, I got
Yeah.
one in my office now because I loved it so much. So, because I collect VHS tapes too. So what I did was I put in blank VHS tapes and I would record the Batman animated series because I thought it was so killer for the time. I thought it was great. And Gargoyles would come on right after, if I'm not mistaken. Do you remember that?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah. And Gargoyles was really good too. Toxic Crusaders, Captain Planet time. Talk about
Yeah, we didn't
No.
talk about Captain Planet.
No.
You know, that was
that was good.
a good one too.
Yeah.
In
That
a
was
time
good.
when, you know, recycling wasn't a big deal. You know, and they talked about saving the earth. It's just kind of different and just, you know,
Yeah. No, I agree.
Let's see. Anybody remember these?
oh yeah.
What is that?
Super Mario Super Show,
Oh yeah, Super Mario Super Show for sure, for sure.
and then you had the Super Mario World,
I never saw
Yeah.
that. I never saw that.
and then somebody mentioned in the comments Legend of
Zelda.
Zelda.
I heard that was awful though. Was that good?
Excuse me, princess.
No, was that good? Was that good?
No, it was terrible, but it was also,
Worth
but it was
the
enjoyable
rewatch,
when
right?
when you were a child. It was awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, because you love Zelda, right?
No, absolutely. Who doesn't?
That's awesome. I don't know who didn't, but yeah.
Some of the shows that some of the cartoons I watched as a kid are a little difficult to go back and watch.
True.
Now.
Agree.
Sure.
Yep. Actually, He-Man would be at the top of that list. Like it's so awkward and wonky now when you rewatch the original He-Man. It's like this is horrible,
Totally.
right? But when you're a kid, I had like like you had like Battle Cat and He-Man, all these figurines, and you like asked for Christmas for the Castle Grayskull, and you never got it. But
Yeah, he never got it. Yeah, I asked, that's a good point though. I mean, some of them were. I mean, I remember I had my son. So I taped him down with duct tape on a chair, and I had him watch G.I. Joe, and I forced him to like it for a little while. And watching that stuff, it is pretty painful. And I mean, I know I'm not like this, but it's like super racist. It's super like there's so many things that are wrong with G.I. Joe as a cartoon. I'm kind of going, wow, like what we were subjected to, we didn't even know. Like it was really funny. Like if you look at, I think what was his name? He was a master of kung fu. He was a Joe, and he was like a movie star. But like the accents that they would have put on these people were, I mean, just I hate to say it, but hilarious, but also awkward. It was super funny. So, especially in the 80s, they had no concept of that whatsoever. So, anyways.
Well, I think we're getting a little slack because we're not mentioning the 60s and 70s cartoons. But
I'm
you
sorry
know,
we're not talking about Betty Boop and Popeye.
Yeah, really.
you know,
Looney Tunes, right?
I mean, we watched those too. They were part of the time, but you know, it wasn't as influential as for this group. You know,
If it were last week and we were talking about them, I could have invited my parents on the show and they could have
Yeah.
talked about the cartoons they watched as a kid.
No.
Johnny
We're watching the
Quest.
Munsters. You talking about the Munsters right now? What was on in the 60s and 70s for cartoons? Let's see.
Well, like would it be like Mighty Mouse? What else would be like that? given
Mighty
time
Mouse was
frame?
good. I saw a ton of Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse is great.
And then
Rocky
like,
and Bullwinkle.
Rocky and Bullwinkle, right? Hey, Rocky, why can you
Yeah.
pull a rabbit on it? Yeah.
That was Mr. T cartoon with the dog.
Yeah.
Let's see. Johnny Quest, though. Okay, I'll have to give 6 and. All right, so Brandon's correct. Johnny Quest is always kind of fun, right? That was a good one.
Yeah.
And Jetsons and what was the
Space-
one where
Oh, like
Space
the
Ghost,
Flintstones.
Flintstones? Flintstones.
Underdogs.
Yeah.
Hanna Barbera
Hanna-Barbera,
was
Yeah.
king back then.
Scooby Doo, pup
I
named
still saw it.
Scooby Doo.
Saw a ton of that stuff. Scooby Doo is still awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Scooby-Doo
can't. You
still rocks. I wish I had the full set of that. That my kids watch the new version of that and they love it. They've done a great job with that constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Okay.
rebooted a couple of times, but still, it's
Tiny
still a good
Toon.
concept. Still works really well.
Tiny Toons.
Justice
That's right.
League, Spider-Man, yeah, all that stuff.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Josie.
Beetlejuice.
Who said
Yeah,
that?
Beetlejuice.
Who said Josie?
Captain Caveman.
Josie.
Captain Caveman. Yeah, we were discussing that the other day in the Discord. Yeah.
Were you really?
Yeah, yeah. It was Captain Caveman, Space Ghost, Grape Ape. Like we used to watch those every Sunday before we went to church. Like it was like we know when the USA cartoons would go over, it was time to get in the car. Like
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
my dad worked nights, and so we would let him sleep all the way till it was like almost time to leave.
Oh, that's awesome.
We would like, hey, it's time to go, and we would get in the car and leave.
Good memory. Hey Arnold. Oh, what about
Yeah.
the Archies? Okay. All right. I remember
Yeah,
those.
I mean,
Yeah, football head. Yeah.
Heathcliff.
Heathcliff, yes.
Oh, boy.
Oh my gosh. Where'd you pull that? Did you just Google that?
No.
Gosh, that was
Oh.
great. That was a great pull.
He used to terrorize the neighborhood.
Outrun the black and white sun. I don't even get
Oh.
that. Right now. Is that the
thanks,
monster?
Goofy Foot.
Oh,
You get- obviously, Dragon Ball Z. Those were key in my life too. But
I was a little old for Dragon Ball So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to get into that so much. So my oldest, who's 16, he got into not ninjutsu. What's the show that everybody loves when they're in like junior high? It's like an anime, but it's a very popular
Naruto
one.
is the monkey.
Naruto. Wait,
Yeah.
Naruto, yeah. Naruto, yeah.
Naruto.
Is there another
Naruto.
one? I think it was Naruto. Yeah, Naruto. And so there was a bunch of like, what about Robotech? Or actually, the better one would be Macross. Anybody watch Macross?
Sounds awfully familiar.
Those were great. They had incredible artwork for their cartoons. Anybody in the chat remember Macross? Or in the American version was called Robotech. And in fact, B from Kong's R Us, he collects all of the Macross planes. You know,
Mhm.
Those are-
Yeah.
that's from Macross. Yeah, that was huge. What about cartoon movies in the 80s? You guys remember any of those that you watched?
Yeah, that's easy. I'll start with it. So
Go ahead.
you have like Secret and a Nymph, that given series.
Secret
Yeah,
of Moon.
and
It was amazing, right?
That was the
Yeah.
best.
And then I mean, mine is like Disney's easy, right? But the whole notion were like things that really aren't just popular, and they would make a movie about it. It was just fantastic.
Yeah.
The
Ninja
Black-
I
Scroll.
remember Oliver and Company.
Black
Yeah.
Cauldron.
Black Cauldron is fantastic.
Black
Yeah.
Cauldron was glorious. Yeah. Laputa, Castle in the Sky was a great one. Princess Mononoke. These are all from Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli, I should say. But the 80s ones, my favorite one was Secret of Nim for sure.
Yep.
For sure. I love Secret of Nim. They tried to do another one, but I love Sosa just dropped a great one though. He's been kind of putting a bunch of these on. Oh, Roger Rabbit.
yeah, Roger Rabbit.
Sure.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Roger Rabbit was
Roger Rabbit, Cool World.
cool.
And just
world.
to complete
Yeah.
Sixton's comment there, I did enjoy Yogi the Bear, but it wasn't a staple of mine because that was Cartoon Network and didn't.
Oh, come
yeah.
on,
Your sound like couldn't get it.
It was later in life.
Did you guys watch Heavy Metal?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No.
Not
I
till
remember
later.
watching it.
Yeah, not till later. Same with Ninja Scroll, Sosa, and you know why. If anybody who hasn't seen Ninja Scroll, don't judge me, but I used to own that one. But yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
John Candy was great.
Yeah.
Heavy metal.
Yeah.
Like Camp Candy.
What about
Yeah,
Pee Wee's Big Adventure? What about Pee Wee's Playhouse?
Yeah,
Wasn't
that
it
was
called-
it was a show on
That was a
CBS.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's such an awkward show, man.
It is.
Yeah.
We're just gonna
And
leave it at that.
It's true. In the movie, yeah, it's like he goes, "You're at the Alamo." He's like, "Prove it." And he's like, "The stars at night, so big." You see?
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
talking about Michael Jackson. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, Tosh. Sorry.
It's all good.
Oh, I'm too old for Power Rangers, but younger than Dad. Yeah, you are younger than me, Steps. You look like it, too. I'll be 45 this year. Close.
I never got into Power Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, I was too old for that.
yeah, they were past my time.
Rugrats. That's right,
Rugrats.
Doug.
Rugrats
Doug?
was a good one. Doug. Recess.
Yeah, we posted it on Discord Saturday. One Saturday morning on ABC it was Doug, Pepper Ann, Recess, and then something else. But yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
That
I
was
always
like-
remember Pepper Ann always sticks out in my head because I remember it was one of the first cartoons that I remember seeing that had like a Thanksgiving special episode. And it
Uh-huh.
reminded me of like the sitcoms, where they're getting ready for Thanksgiving and it came on at Thanksgiving time and stuff. And it was just like, oh, this is like, it's like a sitcom like my parents watch, but this is cartoon, they're going to Thanksgiving. Most of the time, all the other cartoons are just some random day in their lives, but this was
Yeah.
like a holiday event, and
Yeah.
that
Oh, the
stood
other
out.
one that given time, like Bobby's World, because of Howie Mandel's
Bobby's
voice.
World.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Bobby's World was pretty cool.
Bobby's
understand
World was
Bobby's World.
awesome.
I think I was too old for Bobby's World.
Yes, yeah. Instead of their last name was generic, but it was spelled like generic. It was funny.
VeggieTales fan without telling me you were a
Yeah.
veg. Show me you were a VeggieTales.
That's
Oh,
easy.
Lord.
I am a pirate who doesn't do anything. We don't do anything.
I actually did. I was too old for VeggieTales too, but yeah.
Yeah, and I tried to get my daughter to watch it, and it was kind of hard. So
Don't you love God? Watch the show. Yeah. Manipulative, Todd. That's good. That's good.
Was anybody a fan of dinosaurs?
Oh my gosh! Like,
that
wait.
show,
The,
The
like
live
live action Muppet type thing.
Yeah.
Dude, that
always
show was-
watched it.
They talked about bringing that back.
the baby in the
Yeah.
in that would come
Yeah.
out of the
Yeah,
egg
not
or
the
something
mama.
like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you say? Not the mama? No.
yeah,
that wasn't-
yeah, not the
Yeah,
mom.
he said not a
Yeah,
mama.
not the mama.
Okay. All right. Oh man.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like
So that's a good segue. Let's go around the horn and say what we wish they would actually like reboot.
Who?
cartoon.
Anybody
one?
want to start?
Cartoon wise?
Yeah, cartoon wise. If you could ask for anything from your childhood to be rebooted, what would you want?
Besides Care Bears?
Besides,
To the Care Bear Camp.
You actually know that, Matt? I was kidding.
Of course. And like if it's based on music, it goes in here and it doesn't go away. Yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit I was a big Care Bear fan.
Oh
when I
wow,
was-
Joel, with pride, buddy.
Oh,
With
yeah.
pride.
Care Bears 2, the
did.
movie, was dope.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember watching that
With Dark
in
Heart.
theaters. Yep.
Yeah, they brought in the Care Bear cousins on too. So
Mhm.
I don't have a name card,
Let's
so I
not
don't
talk about Care
care.
Bears. That was my fault. I apologize.
I think that they should do like Mask. I really do think that Mask. Think
Dude.
about the modern
You spoke
the
to my
modern
heart.
drawing style and all that. I think that Mask would be really awesome if
That's
they
awesome.
rebooted
that
it.
you said that. I love that you just said that.
I'm going to go off a limb here. I'm going to say bring back the Tick.
The Tick.
The
Did you
Tick.
see the live action one that they put on? I think it's
Yeah.
on Prime, the most
Yeah.
recent one. That was
Yeah.
a good show.
Yeah, bring that back. The
Yeah.
Tick was funny.
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
And what's his face? The one that did it. Gosh, I can't remember his name. He's in a lot of voice acting now.
Yeah.
No, any Joe Swanson on Family
Yeah,
Guy?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with Rainwater and Sand right now. I think reboots can kind of ruin a lot of the old things, but I do think kind of making a continuation or like a part 2 or like I would never want them to reboot Lord of the Rings as a movie, right?
Right.
No.
We don't want them to reboot books, right? So books, you can't reboot books because obviously rights and things like that. But I mean, if I sold my rights to the publishing company, they could easily do whatever they want with it, right? After like a certain amount of time. But books, you can't do that. So why would we do that with these? I know they do it all the time, but I just don't. I think it would ruin so much of that nostalgia to try to do a DuckTales reboot. Like, are you kidding me? You can't really do that.
I don't like it.
Yeah, they did it. That's what Steps stated. Yeah, be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. Like the
Yeah.
artwork, the art style is a train.
They changed the art style. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, look what I mean. I've really tried to love the new Turtles cartoons and stuff, but you just kind of look at the stuff that they do, and it's tough to watch. It's tough to listen to. Like there's like no depth to the stories and stuff, because they've done quite a few reboots of the Turtles, and the most recent one, that was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that last comment about Beavis and Butthead, that new series is fantastic.
Really?
Yeah,
They have a new series.
Yes, it's on Paramount Plus. It's
Oh, that's
fantastic.
Really? Okay.
I saw a comment. Somebody said Darkwing Duck. For some reason that came to mind too when you thought you threw that out there, Todd. Of Darkwing Duck might be kind of a neat one to reboot.
So you
Just
gotta have
kind of neat.
Don't do the DuckTales art style.
No,
They should reboot Limp Bizkit. That's awesome. That is awesome, MG. Limp Bizkit. We did it all for the Nookie. What about let's see. Sosa had some great. So they did reboot Dark Crystal, right? I wouldn't mind them rebooting, or they didn't reboot Dark Crystal. It was kind of like a prequel, I guess, if you will, to the actual movie. Did you guys see any of the Dark Crystal?
Oh, I love Dark Crystal.
That was great. I was
And the
super
Netflix
surprised.
reboot,
Yeah, the series.
or prequel reboot, series is great.
What about Labyrinth? If they redid the entire movie, would be. I mean, I love the goofiness of the Muppets, right? Because
Yeah.
But you can't replace David Bowie.
You can't.
No,
Unless you could find someone as eccentric
Yeah.
as he was.
I don't know. You just can't. No, he was iconic. You just can't replace David Bowie.
I mean, MG's telling you not to touch it. So,
yeah, don't touch that.
so yeah.
Remaster it, sure. Do the Star Wars treatment. Don't care. Just don't.
I mean, maybe the best thing to say is maybe they should just do sequels of the stuff that really,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, you can bring back David Bowie's character as another actor. That's fine. Not as a reboot though, like as a continuation.
BC thinks you need to replace David Bowie. You need to call.
yeah.
Make that happen.
Oh yeah, totally, no problem. But everybody's saying that I'm saying blasphemy for Labyrinth. Labyrinth, okay, I've watched it probably like 6 times in the past, honestly, like 4 years. It's still a good movie, but it's not something that I'm like, this is great, right? Like for me, like a great 80s movie, like Big Trouble in Little China is so glorious. Like it's not even
Can't
funny.
reboot that either.
You can't reboot that. Big
Can't
Trouble in
reboot
Little China is glorious. But slap that Dan and make him pee.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. MG.
Yeah, drugs.
Don't highlight him anymore, man. Oh man, that's blasphemy. Anyways, I don't even know where I was going. I just felt like that's awesome. The best movie. What's the best movie? Hopefully, Big Trouble in Little China. That is such a glory. I got a huge poster of that in my office.
Yeah.
It's massive, and I actually had it in the fire department when my office was there too. So I had 2 of them. Back to the Future. I like that. That's like the classic quintessential. You can't get too much better than 80s.
But
movies.
they
We still
talk
talking about
rebooting
cartoons?
it, but they don't need to reboot it. They just need to go with part 4, part 5, part 6, and
yeah,
make
agreed.
it fit.
Yeah, agreed.
they did a cartoon of Back to the Future too.
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Very short.
I do
Wasn't
remember
it
that.
called The Other Adventures or?
You know what old Jack Burton says at a time like this? Why is MG talking about Shawshank Redemption? I don't get it. Whatever. Highlander. Yes.
Highlander.
So,
Now,
Highlander.
do you guys remember watching that?
Yeah.
oh, dude, I just bought it on. It was on sale on Apple Plus or Apple TV, And
Is it the
so, yeah.
show or the movies? All the movies.
Oh, just the movies. I never saw the actual show.
I have the 5 movie set where it has the original and then the other guy.
Oh, interesting.
So
I just watched the newest Evil Dead. That was actually pretty good.
Really?
Yeah. It's gory as hell.
I'm sure. Was Evil
yeah,
Dead-
Rainwater says we're shifting from when we talk
It's,
about the 80s, it just rolls. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rainwater. I'm sorry.
You're right, Rainwater.
Well, let's go back.
If you would
Let's
come
go
on
back.
the
Bring us
show,
back,
Right, yeah,
Bob.
that's
we
Bring us
could
back.
have some management, but
Yeah, we'll go. We also forgot about Goof Troop. They had the Goof Troop series.
yes,
The movie.
A very goofy movie. It was awesome.
It was fantastic, and it brought in Powerline. Like we went to Disneyland, I was like laser focused on trying to get a Powerline shirt, and they didn't have any.
Damn.
Oh, Powerline's shirt so bad.
They need to bring that back.
I got nothing right there. I don't know what power lines. I mean, it's
You've never
So-
seen Goofy movie?
Goofy movie,
no, I don't think I have.
really?
Oh,
This
dude.
I changed it
Even
real fast.
JoJo's seen a Goofy movie.
I need
Yeah.
to give you my Voodoo account
Is it on
information.
Disney
Yeah.
Plus. Has
Yeah.
to be.
It is, yeah. My wife hadn't seen it, and then like the family we hang out with, their little ones like got upset because Monica hadn't seen it, and so we had like a dinner night at their house just to watch the Goofy movie, so she could say she watched it. Yeah, it's
Wow.
fantastic. Yeah,
Wait,
Oh,
so
the
Chris,
perfect cast.
Chris, does anyone remember this? Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue, the anti-drug PSA, public service announcement. You guys remember that?
I remember
Holy-
the All Stars where it had like
Nope.
Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, like Bo Jackson, that given series.
Yeah.
I must have been
I
on
think that's, what
drugs.
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, oh my gosh. There was a bunch of things like that were coming out in the 80s for anti-drugs, especially with Nancy Reagan and her kind of, just say no stuff. I mean, it's so funny. A couple of people, not funny, but some of the people on MTV would be like, just say no to drugs. And yet they were like probably stoned at the time
Right,
saying
yeah.
that stuff, but oh my gosh, hilarious. Have a great night, guys. Fun conversation.
See,
Jeff.
Jesse. Now, Stock Rock, were you serious, my friend? Did he really play Goofy?
I think
I
that is a
mean,
true
he did work
statement.
at
I've heard
Disney,
him
so
talk
yeah.
about working at Disney. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
definitely need to.
Yeps. Wait. So that would be cool, Stock Jock. Like, you need to have some pictures.
Yeah, I need pics. No proof.
Topic snag. Red Sonja. or
Garage Gamer. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
I think I have a picture of me with Goofy
Yes. Garage Gamer.
from
Yeah.
Disney. I wonder if it was Stock Jock that was.
It could have been.
Wouldn't that be funny? You met him already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to comment though, because BCB was like topic snag, guiltiest 80s movie pleasure, and I would definitely, I gotta say
Weeks,
something.
what happened?
I just did a video this morning about Sega arcades and Sega Genesis, right, combining, and I totally referenced Last Starfighter. That's one of my favorite 80s movies of all time.
Yep.
I don't know why, I just love
No,
that
it's
movie.
classic.
Oh my
No
god!
doubt.
But I wouldn't mind them making that like completely, like totally redoing all the computer scenes that they did. That would make that movie a lot better, but they would ruin it. A lot of people were like, no, let's keep that. But they were supposed to make a Last Starfighter 2. In fact, it was in like pre-production. And they were going to have where Alex Rogan was going to be the head of the Starfleet, right? And Zur and the Codon Armada was going to be like coming back and kind of taking over, and he needed to kind of help recruit more people from Earth because it was the best quote unquote recruiting place in the galaxy, maybe. I don't know. But they were going to do this whole, it was going to be pretty glorious and expensive, but they ended up putting the kibosh on that, which I don't know why. So I was super bummed on that because it would be kind of cool to see a second one of that. I don't know. Anyway.
The Beastmaster was one of my classics from the 80s.
Yeah, I remember watching Beastmaster and like getting really, really into it.
With his little two ferrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that Tom Cruise movie? One of the first. Legend. You guys ever see Legend? Was it Legend? You guys know what I'm talking about? Tom Cruise, where he's like has to fight. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons one.
I think I know what you're talking about.
That would be a great reboot too.
Yeah, it's Legend.
Bring-
1985. Legend. It's pretty horrible, but that would be cool reboot.
Looks like BCB has confirmed that John D will be revealing the Last Starfighter arcade one-up.
Nice.
That'd be sweet.
Thank you, BCB. We appreciate you. You heard it first. On the
Day one
Tuesday
buy.
show. Yeah.
Day one buy right there.
Yeah.
Day one.
It's all gonna be
Pre-ordering direct.
controls. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? See, that would be genius because it's not like a real game. If someone actually made a real game and then they actually had the last Starfighter as an 80s cabinet, they would kill it. They would
No
kill
doubt.
it. Oh man. Oh, Tom Curry was epic as darkness. It's all- Basic Instinct. Oh jeez.
Man, we're stirring up a lot of nostalgia tonight. We really
Yeah.
are. We're gonna have to go and I've already packed up all my DVDs, so I'm gonna have to go through all of them now and find all these classics.
Kroll was a good one.
All right, what'd you say, Brian?
Kroll, Krull.
Wait, Michael
It's
B.
the guy that had that like boomerang blade.
Okay, well,
Kroll is good. Kroll's good.
this might be confirmed already, so we weren't the first.
No offense, but Michael B. and P Dubs, that's been out for like 2 years, bro. Come on. Like, you're gonna arrest me for smoking? What?
Oh boy.
Oh, you guys, it's 7:00 now. I need to get going. I apologize.
Yeah.
I gotta
Let's,
go finish
let's,
making dinner. But I had a lot of fun.
Before you go, Dan, what's on the deck tomorrow? What do you got going on tomorrow?
Tomorrow we got another Arcades Anonymous. If anybody who's watching right now, because we got a bunch of people on my channel because we're doing like that cross thing.
Yeah.
watching. If you guys want to come back and watch tomorrow night, if you guys like, I'm over Dan, I totally get it. But we're gonna have a couple guys on. We're gonna have Sixen. We're gonna have Sixen on. We're gonna have
Sixen
Toxin,
is awesome.
and we're gonna
awesome
have the Garage Gamer. So Garage Gamer, Sixen, and Toxin. Those
That's
three
gonna be
guys.
a fantastic show.
Yeah, along with Phil, myself, and Mike. I don't think
What's
that's
the topic? Do you want to reveal here on the show tonight, or you?
I will not, but we're gonna go.
Okay, fair
into
enough.
some
Fair
fun
enough.
stuff.
It's a secret.
Dan doesn't know Labyrinth or Basic Instinct quotes.
Oh, boy.
I don't know Basic Instinct quotes. I have seen it though, unfortunately. I saw it when I was much older because of all the. I don't know if I had FOMO, but that's something I repented of much later. With that, I will leave you guys. Thank you so much for having me. It was a
No,
blast.
thank you
so much,
for
Todd.
coming on.
Thank
We
you,
appreciate
guys.
you.
You guys are awesome. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep. Later.
See you, Dan.
See
All
you,
right, see you.
Dan.
Bye.
So, Chaotic, you got anything going on this week, buddy? Anything you want to get going on?
Still working on my arcade review. I'm taking my time with it because I want to dive deep into it and try not to make it a super long video. But I watched other people's reviews, what they liked, what they didn't like, and I want to kind of just bounce off their ideas and how they feel about it, but then also come from my own perspective. I also got a cheap little capture card so I can actually do video from the iArcade and may possibly even do live streams with it. So
Cool.
Fantastic. Matt, what you got going on, buddy? You got anything coming down the pipeline?
Not necessarily. I need to like basically. I don't know how to do this. The food fight cabinet. That
Yeah.
unbox.
yeah, I need to like show it and just basically say I'm grateful for where it came from and how it happened. And so,
Absolutely.
like normally review videos aren't my jam. I'm a more of a teach them how to fish thing versus
Yeah.
So that's the gist of roughly on my pipe.
All right. Joel, you got anything coming down the pipeline? I know you're just as busy as I am.
Yep. I tossing around some ideas of doing some videos, but nothing. You guys have ideas that you want to see me do? You throw them up in the Discord or
Yeah.
head on over to my channel.
Yeah.
Sub. I got 4 subs right
yeah.
now.
If you haven't subbed to these 3 gentlemen, please do so. Awesome guys. And I'm always humbled to be their host, even though I'm probably not the best guy in the world to do it. But thank you for letting me do that, guys.
Just thinking about doing live streams of just working in the shop.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
you
sure
just-
people would watch that all day long.
you
I
just got
watch
that
Pink
Yoga
Guy.
Flame.
I did, yeah. So that
And it's the one that didn't
on
come
a
without.
riser?
It didn't come with a riser, so you built your own.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So
there's a
maybe I'll
great,
have to
there's a
do,
great idea.
videos
A
of
lot of
that.
great stuff there. And it
Yeah,
looks
I'll
like
have to get some
MG's
stuff
already
ready.
subbing to you. Good job. Good job.
High five.
Well, guys, we're going to call it a night. Thank you for spending your evening with us. If come and check us out. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed to these great guys, please do so. And we appreciate you. We're going to do it next week, gentlemen.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Same bet time.
Sounds right.
Same bet channel.
Same nerd place, same nerd time.
Yeah.
Well, guys, have a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Later.
All right, guys.